truth.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report, guys. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a pullback here on market open, but we're still holding on to a keen level, making a higher low. That's the word. A higher low right now. Do think that we have a potential here of a little bit of a pullback in the short term, guys. We're going to take a look at the weekly though, and why I think we're going to go even higher. And then also, as the thumbnail today suggests, we are watching for a date that may force us into a government reopening, if not a bill, an act that may get passed. We'll have to take a look at it all. A lot of data coming in, but it has to do with the military and their payday coming up next week, which could be the 10th, actually, that forces a government reopening October 10th, which would be this Friday. We're going to break it all down, talk about all that. There's also some macroeconomic data coming in, guys, that is not from the federal government. It's from private sector, but giving some warning signs here of what things are actually looking like right now. So we're going to go over that too. Go ahead and drop the pie bears in the chat. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm very bearish on the economy right now. We could have stagflation showing very hard. Crypto Billy, shout out to you. If you guys are not aware, Crypto Princess is doing an interview with Crypto Billy there in the chat today, and we're going to be redirected over there at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. And let's go ahead and get into it. You guys know what time it is. Get your notebooks out, take a seat. Class is in session. I will see you on the other side. Let's go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report, brought to you by ChartPrime every day. We appreciate ChartPrime here at the show, guys. They keep the team occupied, right? But hey, let's go ahead and jump over. I don't think I have OC back, but we'll go ahead and jump over to the duo chat. He's going to be here in just a moment. He ran to get some coffee. He said, I need some coffee, and he's probably coming back with some damn OJ in it. You guys know how he is. Let's go see who's in the chat. We got Dylan VA in here. We got Lad Lewis. Good morning, everyone. Have a nice day. We got Crypto Billy, Alexander G, the mod queen's in here with us. Average Crypto Joe, JR saying good morning, Piper and OC and alumni. He's giving it all to everyone. Donato Cabrera's in here. Dylan VA, Mike Play. Who else we got in here? Who else? Am I missing anybody? Retro Mike Tech in the shutdown. Turn the money printers back on. We can even sell the golf back to Mexico. Oh, Retro Mike Tech. I see Deb is in here. Hi, Deb. How you doing today? Ninja Glock, and I think I may. Oh, two Dubs in here. She said lurking and twerking and learning. Two Dub. That's what's what. Fine. 89 in the house with us. Appreciate you being here, lady. And yeah, I think that's about it. Jesse Gullick up there. He was one of the first ones, but he's probably over in the chat with Miss Teen Crypto, Randy Hipper herself. And Chris Wrights is in here with us also. So appreciate everybody watching right now. You guys are awesome. OC, let's go. We got a lot of news to go over today, man. I had to search everywhere to find data that is not coming out from the federal government, because I'm like, man, I have a intel gap. That's what we call that. We put in an RFI in the intel world, a request for information to fill an intel gap, so that we can have the full picture for analysis. And I'm not getting this from the federal government, so I put in an RFI into other places, other sources, so that I can get that intel to put in and fill the intel gap to do my analytics. But yeah, that's what I had to do today. But let's go ahead and jump over into the Bitcoin chart, and we've got the Otter gang joining us right now. So drop all the otters in the chat. Alex O Crypto and the Otter gang joining us here. Appreciate you guys. But OC, take us in. Tell us the story of Bitcoin today. What's it look like, bro?
Absolutely. So first of all, I would say that the story of Bitcoin is a little flat right now, but we have a lot of like ringers right now. In fact, you can see that since yesterday, we weren't able to look at it, 23.39, almost 24, almost midnight on cake. We have Solana, both of Solana charts. I don't know why did I split it, but we have Aero, we have Jasper, we have Filecoin. In this case, we are not breaking with that much strength that previous all-time high. Let's go ahead and make a horizontal here. Well, we already have it. Let me just click it. Let's make it, I don't know, very much visible like that. All right. And look at that. I mean, this is a little concerning, I would say. Let me clear also this up. Look at that all-time highs being taken. All right, perfect. Coming retest, perfect. We are not losing it. Coming back up, perfect. It seems like it's gonna go. Remember that I mentioned that I was saying yesterday in the morning that pretty much 128 it was taken, or it was I was considering already done. But look at this, I was wrong. It seems like could be wrong, because we're coming back to the golden area here. If we lose, I would say if we lose this area right now, well, we're going to be having a rejection out of the all-time highs. So, you know what that means? That usually signifies a bigger rejection altogether. So, next areas of possible lookout is going to be 121 and 117. Hopefully, this is just a little bit of a fake out to create a lower high in here, to then be able to make some structure in here, some to be able to draw a trend line like that, or like so, and then we'll continue to the upside. We've seen this kind of like a arc downwards in other zones. Let me show you, for example, where at, and like for example in here, that we have a very dramatic move to the upside, right? And then we needed to reject out of this all-time high, and then coming back down here for then a continuation. In this case was a little bit of a range before that all-time high hit up, right? So look at this, the same thing happened here. Had to come back down, little range for the next all-time highs to play it out, right? The question will be, hey, I mean, if we turn everything off in here and we start measuring the length of this, well, how long does this take? This took 31 days. Are we ready to let October go? Or is it the October is going to actually play it out and we're going to have a further continuation to the upside? Under my perspective, I think that we're going to be hitting 117, create a kind of like a head and shoulders, and then blow out to the upside, and then hitting the 128 ish. But that is complete speculation, right, guys? The truth of the matter is that we have not yet lost the zero line. We have not yet lost our money flow. We'll still have good money flow, but our volume matrix is decreasing and our true 7 is clipping. What is going to be determining the end of that range? It's going to be our volume matrix making this U-shaped pattern here, U-shaped form, right? You see this U-shaped form, and then getting back. Sorry about that. Getting back at green here and holding the range. What range? We don't have the range at this moment, but I assure you that we're gonna be making one of those. But that's what we got on Bitcoin, Piper. Let me throw it back to you.
Yeah, I'm actually watching something here on Bitcoin right now, and you can see like he's talking about on the 4 hour. Yeah, we have a pull down, but we're going to have a 236 here, and this level here was our support back here on the first, going into the second. This was our resistance. This was our resistance back here previously. And then we got this nice like 12-hour window here where this was our support to 236. By the time that we get down here off of this price, rejection off the zero line, by the way, previous all-time high until we broke it here and then again here, I think that if we pull back down here, the dynamic reactor on the 4 hour is going to be right in this range. So I'm watching for that 118.324 area for support. That would be the area that I think that we really need to hold. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull from this low here. Let's drop a fixed range volume profile on here. Let's do that. Let's get all that data. There you go. We are coming in on a value area high at 122,521, which is interesting because at 122,500 is my long, and I have a short that I set at $126,000, which is right about here, about the top. So I'm shorted from 126, but I'm long from 122.5. And if we get a bounce here, then that will I'll continue to let that ride on that long. But what I'm doing with it is as we go outside of my 126 range and my 122.5, I continue to let the short ride and reset a long there. And what I'm doing is trying to get positioned where when we finally get to the high, I'm into a short for the entire crypto winter once this cycle is done. That's how I'm setting this up. So these trades will be going on for a while. Make sure you guys are coming here daily, seeing how I'm doing it. But yeah, getting positioned. And right now, both of them in profits. Matter of fact, my long is sitting, let's see here. My long is up 24.4% right now. Well, my long is up 3.63% right now. My short is up 24.23. So that's what I'm watching there on those. But I am going to go over this weekly, guys. There's some indicators over here on the weekly that are telling me we're about to get another big move. And I think that we're going to break the $135,000 range off of this move based on historics. We'll go over all of that here in a bit. But OC, appreciate the breakdown. Shout out to all the OGs in here from the Otter Gang right now. We got the alumni in here. We got the OGs in here. I'm going to go jump in on this news. And then I want to come back and talk about gold because gold is sitting. I don't know if it is right now currently, but this morning it was over 4,000. Yeah, it's at $4,000 exactly. Well, 3,999. Keeps going back and forth, but we're at the $4,000 range on gold right now. So when we come back, I want to talk about that and silver right after the news. You good with that, man? You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, cool. Let's jump over to the news, guys, and break all this down. We got a lot to go through over here, so stay with me. Stay with me. Let's go. All right, looking at the news here, into the cryptoverse metrics today, guys. Currently sitting at $4.242 trillion. Trend on this is at 4.46. That's that red line. And I've told you that when we hit this thing, we typically reject. We have been rejecting on the median. We're touching the median right now. The median right now on this is about 5% away from us. This morning, we were sitting at a 4% undervaluation. So we were at 4%. Now we're at 5%. We are coming in on key area for rejection on the total crypto market cap. Keep in mind that Alexandra G just dropped 5 memberships. Much love to you, Alexandra G. Appreciate you. And good morning, CJ Taylor. Massey33, Line of Sight on Crypto, Kamish, B Sleazy, and Albert Rad. I'll just call you Albert Rad, all picking up a membership. Shout out to all of you guys. Appreciate you. Keep in mind that we can get this pullback off of this line, and the alts are what actually get a pullback. Bitcoin holds steady. Bitcoin dominance picks up. There's a lot of factors that can take place in this, but right now, currently undervalued by about 5%. How about Bitcoin's risk levels for the Piper Plan DCA? We're sitting at 53.8% right now, still sitting in that 2x DCA level, so 2 times your DCA for the week. With stable coins right now, Bitcoin dominance is sitting at 58.17%. Take them stable coins out. What are we sitting at? 62.42, still holding pretty decently strong there on Bitcoin dominance when you take out the stable coins. How are we looking on the index for the alt season? Alt season index is at 71.11% today, guys. Not quite there. Actually getting another pullback again here on the alt season index. So not there. It's not alt season yet. Everyone calm down. Looking here at liquidations in the past 24 hours. We've had 149,805 traders get liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $423 million. A lot of people getting wrecked there on that second push, it looks like. The largest single liquidation was on an Ethereum trade on Binance for $4.57 million. Let's go take a look at the bookmarks over here. I did not pull much this morning off of here, so I got to go in and get them fresh for you. That Bitcoin fear and greed index right now currently sitting at 70. We are in greed right now. Coming pretty close to extreme greed. Keep that in mind. But right now we're at 70 points right now on the fear and greed index. Bitcoin is in greed right now. Ethereum fear and greed index currently sitting at 68, also sitting in greed. There's a couple of things in here that I wanted to go over. This is from 15 hours ago from the Kabisi letter. The Trump administration now owns, and that's not the Trump administration, that's the federal government. I don't know why he's twisting it that way, but it's the federal government now owns 10% equity in Intel, 15% equity in MP Materials, 10% equity in Lithium Americas, 10% equity in Trilogy Metals, TMC, and a golden share in U.S. Steel Corporation. Floated idea of equity stake in defense contractors. Financial markets have entered a new era. Government equity stakes. What's next for the acquisitions for President Trump? It's pretty interesting to see. This feels very communist to me. I'm just going to put that out there. You guys know I took my oath, as you've seen on thumbnail. That was me in uniform. I took the oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, not any individual, not any party, not even the people. Just so you know, it's the Constitution. All of this equity stake in companies for the government feels very, very communist to me. But anyway, I digress. The Kabisi letter, we need a new system. The Fed is running the world's largest economy on labor market data that is revised 3 times, suspended for a government shutdown, and then revised lower again a year later by nearly 1 million jobs. All as the majority of economic data is in blackout until the shutdown ends. It simply is not possible to efficiently run the U.S. economy under the current system. Some interesting things going on there. But yeah, gold absolutely ripping today. Let's go take a look at how the markets are doing. On the TradFi and commodity side, little refresh there. There we go. NASDAQ currently up about 0.13%. The S&P up 0.06%, and the Dow Jones down 0.01, pretty much flat. Russell 2K also flat. The VIX down about 0.55%, sitting just under 17 points. How about the bonds market? U.S. 10-year yield getting a little bit of a pullback, still holding above 4, though, at 4.1% there. And in gold, guys, $3,995, up about 0.5% today. Silver was at $48 this morning. It's at $47.95, down about 1%. Copper getting a pickup again, and then platinum is in the red, down 0.5%, while palladium is up 2.26% here on the daily open. Look at this. Trilogy Metals, we were just talking about this. Trilogy Metals shares soared over 250% in pre-market after the U.S. takes stake in the Minerals Explorer. And I saw somebody, I think it was Eric Wallen, said, I own TMC. Shout out to you, Eric Wallen. You're doing quite well, sir. TMC up quite a bit this morning, 250%. Shares of the U.S. listed Explorer Trilogy Metals surged more than 250% in pre-market trade on Tuesday, shortly after the White House said it would take a 10% stake in the Canadian company. This isn't even a U.S. company. It's a Canadian company. The stock was seen trading up 248% in pre-market deals. The White House on Monday announced a partnership with Trilogy Metals as part of a push to unlock domestic supplies of copper and other critical minerals in the Amber Mining District of Alaska. The partnership included 35, that's how they got it, because they're doing all their stuff on U.S. property, U.S. land. The partnership included a $35.6 million investment, which makes the U.S. government a 10% shareholder in Trilogy Metals there. Interesting. Shout out to you, Eric Wallen. You're doing good, man. You're doing really good on that one. Let's go take a look at the crypto bubbles here. Hourly, we're seeing a lot of red. Daily, quite a bit of red still also. However, I want to point out that BNB has moved up 2 spots to number 3, while XRP has dropped 2 spots to number 5. BNB now number 3 on the total crypto market cap here. Bitcoin down 1.5%. Ethereum sitting up 0.2. BNB is up 6.6%. Big losers, Solana down 3.7%. 5.7% on Avalanche, 7.3% on Hyperliquid here. Top 20, ended it out with Leo token up about 0.5%. Any other big movers here? Aave 4.1. Nope. Zcash. There you go. Zcash taking a dump again. Down 16.1%. So maybe you need to look at Zcash today also, OC. Just possibly. All right, guys. Trading economics. Here's your calendar. Bunch of Fed speaking today. That's about it. That's all we got. FOMC minutes tomorrow going to be coming out. That's your verbatim transcript from the last FOMC meeting. And then again, more Fed speaking. The NBA 30-year mortgage rate coming out tomorrow. 6.46% is what it was previously at. We'll see what it is. If it went up or down. I have a feeling it went up. That's just my opinion. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, more Fed speakers on Thursday. Initial jobless claims for September and October. These are weekly release reports. Both of them, you see there, nothing coming out. But we're going to talk about when we may see that shutdown end and why. Looking here at the CME group, let's give it a refresh. It was 92.5 there. We are looking at a 92.5% chance of a rate cut, 7.5% chance now that we get a rate pause and no rate cut here on October 29th. The shutdown meant no jobs report, but Carlisle's analysis shows that it would have been pretty bad. We're going to go ahead and pull this over now and bring OC up here with me because this is some interesting data here, OC. This is from the third-party data on the job numbers. Employment growth was essentially flat in September, according to the data from the investment giant Carlyle that seeks to fill in data gaps created by the government shutdown. So employment growth was essentially flat in September, according to the data from investment giant Carlyle that seeks to fill in data gaps created by the government shutdown. The firm said its proprietary data showed job growth of only 17,000 from the month, which would be even less than the 22,000 gained in August that was reflected in the BLS data there. With the BLS shuttered and the data release suspended until the impasse between congressional Republicans and Democrats is resolved, Wall Street firms are rushing to provide alternative measures to paint a picture of where the U.S. economy is actually heading without this data being there. Carlisle's data jibes somewhat with other releases showing little hiring growth. Remember, we need about 73,000 jobs in a month to have a sustained growth rate. We came in at about 17,000 jobs, which is way under what we need to see. Last week, payrolls processing firm ADP reported a loss of 32,000 jobs in the private sector. No growth, took away 32,000. Negative numbers, though that included a reduction stemming from adjustments to the BLS revision too. So according to Carlisle, the job numbers we were going to get this week were not good. Let's jump over here. Missing the pay date. You know who's not losing their job, but they're losing a paycheck? Federal government workers in the military. And a lot of federal government workers will not go to work unless they're essential, but military, they're going to be at work. A paycheck scheduled for October 15th for 1.3 million members of the armed services might convince legislators in the White House that missing the date won't be worth the political cost. This is why I said could end this week. Very likely will end this week because of this, but there is a bill being worked right now that I'm going to talk about that actually would pay the military without the government being reopened. That is still a possibility. While the respective sides have dug in their heels regarding a fiscal budget, missing a pay period could rile public anger. At the least, it encourages a temporary bill known as a continuing resolution, and that's what I'm talking about. As the government shutdown drags on with little hope of a quick resolution, a situation involving the U.S. military could push the warring factions in Washington to come to an agreement. No, soldiers won't be called into duty to force Congress to get back to work, although that would be helpful, I think. However, a looming paycheck scheduled in the middle of October for 1.3 million active duty members might convince legislators in the White House that missing this date is not worth it. We believe the military pay date on October 15th could be an important forcing event for a compromise and restore funding, and expect the shutdown to end by mid-October. Let's talk about this and how this looks. So if you guys don't know, the military gets paid end of month. Okay. And then they get paid, whether it be the 30th, 31st, 28th, whatever. And then they get a paycheck on the 15th. The government pays the bank the day prior. And a lot of banks like USAA and Navy Federal Credit Union, stuff like that, they pay when they get it. So they credit before it's fully processed. So when it hits their account, there's that window that they got to process the money first, but they give access to it. So military get paid technically through most of the military used banks on the 14th. Okay, so they get paid a day earlier, which means that's when the federal government has paid it out, is usually by the evening of the 13th, morning of the 14th. Let's do the math here and talk about that, because when I look at my calendar, looking at the calendar here, the 15th is next Wednesday. That means that the pay date would be on Tuesday. That would mean that the federal government would need to be open on Monday the 13th. Problem. Monday the 13th is Columbus Day. It's a federal holiday. Banks aren't open. What does that mean? Push it one more day forward. That would mean that it would have to be processed. The government would have to be back to work on the 10th in order for the payment to be processed on the morning of the 14th, which is Tuesday, in order for people to get paid in the military. So I think that by the 10th, we do get our federal government open or at least a resolution to pay the military at least. So no, VA will not. VA money is already allocated, and so is retirement. So I don't have to worry about that. Wick's wife, she said VA checks top two, right? I'll still get my VA check. I'll still get my retirement check, but active duty military, totally different funding account, and so they will likely not get paid if the government's not reopened by the 14th. Actually, by the 13th, even, because the 14th is when it has to be paid that morning. So I'm thinking the 10th. I'm thinking the 10th is when we get. I think the 10th is when we get the government reopening or a resolution this week. So we've got about 3 more days this week to find out. But you heard it here. Piper said the 10th. There you go. That's what I think that that will have a resolution or at least a funding bill for all this. So yeah, that's the date of the OC. The shutdown being open on the 10th. Do you think that this, as this goes on, that this uncertainty is paying a price and playing with the price on Bitcoin and on the assets? Is that why we're seeing this pullback, or do you just think that people just don't care? That people just don't care about the government being shut down at this point? Are they forgetting already? Did a TikTok video catch their attention and they just moved on? What's your thoughts on all this?
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything, right? But something that is catching my attention, it is all right. Markets are closed. I mean, not markets. Government is closed. Things pumps, right? Government reopens or tries to reopens, and market dumps. So I would say that there's a bullish speculation somewhere around there. And well, I mean, it's true that we're having that rejection as we see it. Another way to see this maybe is exhaustion in the market. Maybe we need that pullback, but I would say that basically I don't think that people cares anymore. And despite that careless situation, well, we see the whiplash of the I don't know, of whatever happened, the market shutdown pump.
Okay. I can make some good money if I thought it was the 10th. I just want to show you this. Check this out, bro. This is from Polymarket. Right now, there's a 28% chance of a reopening the 10th through the 14th. I think by the 10th we're open. But look here, if it was the 6th through the 9th, to buy a yes chance on this, it's 2.9 cents. To say no, it won't be open. You had, like, you're not going to make much on this. You can make some good money on Polymarket right now if you really thought it was the 10th. But the resolved outcome and resolved. Yep, those have not taken place yet. Okay, right now you can see here 70%. Polymarket's given it a 70% likelihood that it's October 15th or later. So I'm going against the odds here, big time on this one. We'll have to see how it plays out. But would not be the first time that the federal government did not pay the U.S. military. That happened to me. Been there, done that. So, but yeah, 15th, 70% chance of a shutdown ending on the 15th. There was also this I want to talk about, and then we'll get into the other charts and gold and all that. But this is from Apollo Academy, and yeah, I told you guys I had to go dig into some third-party data to get some intel. This is stagnant labor market from today, according to Apollo chief economist. The hiring rate measures the number of hires during the entire month as a percentage of total employment, and it is currently at recessionary levels. See the chart below. We'll look at it in a second. Similarly, the quit rates measures the number of employees who are voluntarily leaving their jobs during a month, expressed as a percentage of total employment, and the quit rates is also low. What does that mean? There's not a lot of people being hired, and a lot of people are afraid to quit their jobs right now. Combined with the declining number of job openings, rising unemployment, and slower job growth, the bottom line is that the labor market is at a standstill where workers are not getting hired or voluntarily changing their job. And you can see here on the chart, both clicking to the downside. Quits is the green here on the top. Blue is the hires coming down. And they're about to hit some local record lows here on this. Let's add this into another thing. We got weakening labor, OC. What do you call it when you get stagflation? What else? What's the missing piece of employment there? It's your inflation, right? Looking at annualized month-over-month growth rates show that 60% of the items in the CPI basket, that's your inflation look, right, are growing faster than 3%, meaning prices are growing at a faster rate than 3% inflation. Is a second inflation mountain emerging. Inflation's pumping up, jobs are getting weak. That is the mixture of a disastrous stagflation scenario there, OC. And we talked last week about a labor market recession being the first major red flag that leads to recessions almost always. Like it's like 92% of the time, man. We've had one event where that happened and we didn't go into that. And that was after one already happened and we just didn't go back into one. So not looking good there. But yeah, we are seeing that dropping pretty hard right now. We're about to break some previous levels here on this data. So stagflation, ugly, ugly, ugly. And that might be the reason that we got gold pumping up. And we're going to head over to that right after this, a quick commercial break for you guys. Because, ChartPrime, that's why. And shout out to ChartPrime for sponsoring the channel. We appreciate you guys.
We provide spectacular indicators to our community on a weekly basis for free. So TradingView is a platform which is basically the global authority. Our indicators live on TradingView naturally. Now, if you go over to our TradingView profile, you can see that we have a massive following. Many of these indicators will receive awards and recognition from TradingView themselves. So if you're actually serious about trading, want to take it to the next level, I would highly suggest signing up for our premium subscription. If not, we have an amazing profile on TradingView with a ton of free indicators that you can use for your trading.
There you go, guys. ChartPrime, appreciate it. ChartPrime for sponsoring today's show, all the shows actually. And we will. There's a link down below. You guys check it out. Alexander G just dropped that link also. Damn, that guy's handsome. His name is Alex. And he's probably my most favorite CEO on the planet. So, OC, gold, man. What are we looking at? We just gave all the reasons why gold keeps pumping: weakening labor market, increasing inflation, recessionary cracks. What's gold looking like today, bro? Let's jump over there and check it out.
Let's check it out here. So we have gold in here. We have everything that's actually just making it pump. It's still pushing to the upside. As you can see, well, pump is not as crazy as altcoins. I was expecting a little bit of a bigger candle in here, something that shows that a really emotional movement. It is not having it, though, but still pushing to the upside. Let's go and take a look at a couple of predictive ranges, because that is basically what we can use at this point. And we'll see the target. It is right now getting 4,035. Remember that we have a specific target right here. Let me see. Where is my other chart of gold? Here it is. And let's check that out, because I do remember someone mentioning that they're going to be selling at 4,000. And I'm also going to be joining that selling wagon. I'm going to be selling some of my profits of gold somewhere around 4,000. But now that I think and see it, maybe somewhere around 4,021 might be a little bit of a better zone for me to sell, somewhere around right there. And well, other than that, seems like we might be able to push it through. Remember that we had a goose head right down here yesterday. That goose head actually is playing out. A little retracement, further move to the upside before we got the bigger retracement. So we are on track with gold. Let's go. And well, gold is just doing what gold does, right? Just moving to the upside or holding its value. So what would it be doing? Holding its value or moving to the upside? Maybe it's both, because, well, what is it compared to? We are talking about right now about US dollars or fiat currency. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we can get all the way to 4,021. Hopefully we are. And that's where I'm going to be executing some of my sellouts. Also, if I don't see a peak performance diamond, I will be waiting for that peak performance diamond to play it out for me to sell out some of my gold. And that's what we got right now on gold. Wanted to go over BNB, SEC, Zcash.
No, because actually, Crypto Princess is actually her stream just went live with Crypto Billy. So we're going to get through this Bitcoin weekly setup. I want to talk about that, and then we'll head over to them, because Crypto Billy, we got to go support Crypto Billy, man. The Billy Goat Tales, Givers Gain, Hashtag Givers Gain. Drop it in the chat. You guys know. So let's take a look here, OC. I want to jump over and take a look. We were asked about the full moon. This triggered on the candle, which started last night because last night was the full moon, but it will still be in play tonight because it's a 24-hour window. So tonight will be the end of that overnight, the 2-day cusp there on the midnight opening. So we are sitting right now at this level, and you can see we're bouncing down to this value area high that I just talked about, 122.6 here. So I do think that this will likely hold, and that will be our upside move. But let's take a look at the weekly here on Bitcoin, and let's talk about what's going on here, because I think this is very important to note. We do have the histogram with the very small histogram candle here, and I'm looking at this on the weekly right now. I do think that we're about to cross over just like we did here, and you can see the last time we did that, we had this little pump here, came in for a retest, and that's what created a new high for us after this low, right? I do think that we're about to do that again. You can also see money flow is coming up and in the green. We still have quite a bit of room here to run on the RSI, although it is creating this nice, trend here. Can I get a better line than that? Good Lord. Who taught me how to draw? We do have this little level here that, we hit slight break above. These are Heikenhashi candle. Keep that in mind. But we do have a little bit of a run up here that we can run on the RSI. But take a look over here, and I'm going to isolate just this chart off. And I want to show you why I think that we have another run coming here very, very soon. Look here on the weekly. This is going to close this coming weekend, okay? And it goes out of a bearish wave into a bullish wave. Let's just go back and take a look at what has happened here on price action on these bullish crossovers of this wave. Let's go back here and look. That would have happened here. That was a run up there of 147%. Okay. Let's do another one. Actually, it was there to there. So let me do that way. There we go. There to there. We had a run up of 63%. And then we have another one because it slightly went into one tiny little period there of the pullback. And then we do another one here from there. And that was the run up of another 76%. Okay. Come over here and take a look at the crossover here. It's going to be right there. And that was a run up of 72%. Okay. Come over here and look at this little wave. We had part one here. Right there. That was a run up of 20% basically. It was 19 point something. We had a pullback and then another wave up here. There we go. And that was a run up of about 14.9%. We're about to cross over right now into another run. So even if we did this and say we're down at like 121, right? That would be a good bounce level in my opinion. And we go up 19%. 19%, that would put us at $145,000. I think 130 is built in just what I'm seeing here on the weekly charts, man. Because a lot of this stuff is look, we're in a transition up ribbon on the weekly, which typically goes into an even more run up because it transitions into a bullish ribbon. We still got RSI room. We're about to cross the histogram. The buy signal here on the MACD histogram signal bar is about to go bullish again. And then we're about to go bullish down here. I think that this is setting up for another run for us. I am definitely watching for support to be found on Bitcoin and then maybe get another run also aligning with our moon. So there you go. That's what I'm watching on Bitcoin there, man. Real fast, OC, can we go over BNB and then we'll head over to Crypto Princess because I think we need to talk about what's going on with BNB today.
Absolutely. So BNB right here. By the way, we have an LDO alert. Well, everything is just flashing out right now. So BNB right now having a little bit of a retracement. Seems like we are hitting a little bit of a topping here. Something important is that we have broken the the purple line, which means we should theoretically be going to find the blue line. Very important. The blue line, it is the center of all of those lines. So we have 1, 2, 3, and this is it. 1, 2, and 3. Well, this is 1, sorry, 2, 3. So this is the blue line. Seems like we're having a little bit of a retracement, but if everything plays out as it's playing out or as usually plays out, well, then we might be able to make something like this and then having a rejection or at least going up, hitting that blue line, and then we need to reanalyze whatever is happening here. Something important is that we're having a secondary run up in here. We did not went into a bearish trend. We are heading back up. We'll see if we have that peak performance diamond. We are also getting another second life on our oscillator here. Look at that, money flow still pushing. And differently for most of the other coins, we have our True 7 also ramping up, and our volume matrix from a slightly bit red back to green. Something important that is happening here is that our power bar is getting a max out power bar, right? So that color, we usually see it when we are at the very top. So we might be able to have a little bit more max out. And remember that power bar start or rings right before the high. So let me show you really quickly how that looks like. For example, right here, and then after that, a little bit of a high, and then that retracement. Once again, that bright spot, that was the high. This one, well, we already have seen that. This other one, a little bit more, and then a retracement. So this is a kind of like a leading indicator, which is telling me, hey, you know what? The high or the next high, it's coming. So be careful. So that's what I would be actually thinking, that this could be our target, 1,404. And wee, look at that. Who would have thought? BNB, $1,400. But well, with that kind of a CEO, and that's the only thing I'm going to mention. So turning it back to you, Piper.
Yeah, just a fair warning, guys. The stock market has gone all red today also. So for anybody today that watches a video and they talk about Composite Man is wrecking everything, yeah, he evidently Composite Man went after all the stocks too. It's not just an attack on crypto. So there you go. Stock market getting a little pullback today too. On the Bitcoin chart, real fast before we head out, I do want to show you guys. We are getting a reddening here, a slowdown on the volume on the 4 hours. So I am expecting a little bit of a pullback, but as of right now, 122,588 is holding pretty decent. If we lose that level, guys, watch for, again, dynamic reactor coming in at 118,324 in line with the 0.236 fib. So that's all we got today, guys. We're heading over early to go join Crypto Princess, Crypto Billy's over there for his interview. So we're going to head over there. When you guys get over there, make sure you drop the otters and drop the alumni caps, the graduation caps in the chat. Let them know the OGs and the alumni have entered the house. OC, I appreciate you, man. Always great to do a show with you, and good stuff today on gold. 4,000. We called that when it was at under 3. So there you go. Keep tuning in right here, guys, at the Morning Market Report. I think we're giving you guys some of the best alpha in the industry. The world just doesn't know it yet. So that's what's going on there. Shout out to Eric Wallen. I knew you would comment on that statement I made. But tune in to OC tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, trade setups with OC Guy. Tomorrow morning, Good Morning Crypto. And then we'll be back at 10 a.m. Doing the Morning Market Report, giving you guys all of the news, the charts, the data, the alpha that you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until next time, guys, trade safe, use some risk management, peace, love, profits. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. We'll see you over at Crypto Princess. We're out of here.
That's the rap. Chart stack, data never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. ChartPrime visual signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done.
You can't handle the truth. Emotional damage.
We'll see you at the next
They don't
one.
know what the fuck they're doing.
Morning Market Report out, 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 out.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning Market Report out. We'll see you at the next one. Morning Market Report. Ow.
That was awesome, dude.
Hey, it didn't break. What else you got?